So today I'm going to take a look at this paper here in the Humanities and Social Science Communications journal. You can see it's written by this woman here, Dr. Órla Murray. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she's an assistant professor at Newcastle in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. You can see the kind of thing she writes about here. But we can tell just from the title of this, this is kind of leaning into all the intersectionality that's in vogue in certain parts of academia and other people, where they kind of tend to pull a lot of grievances together in ways that a lot of us would disagree makes sense. So you can see from the title it says Crypt Guts, Stomas and the Violence of Returning to Normal, a feminist queer crypt approach to the gut. So crypt theory, according to this Wikipedia page, they're all better described, more detailed descriptions elsewhere, but we can see here it says it began in communities. It's an academic theory, no surprise there, that intersects with experiences like race, class and gender. And then other crypt theories are crypt time, which has roots in disability community and academic theory. So to find out what a stoma is, we can quickly go to this NHS page here. One of many medical sites that will tell you what it is, but essentially if you've had surgery on your bowel, in some cases they have to basically bring it out to the surface of your body to get rid of excrement into a bag, so that basically you can't go to the toilet, as normal. There are obviously quite a few complications in living your life due to that. So, full disclosure, I don't actually have a stoma, but I did have some bowel removed for Crohn's disease, which has left me with a need to use the toilet quite a lot more than normal. So even though I can't say I've got the same problem as this woman, I've certainly got something that makes my life difficult. So I won't go through the whole of the abstract, but as usual with these kind of academic papers, it tends to be a lot of waffle rather than actually putting things in a straightforward way. I guess that's how it works in academia and journals. Maybe if they were to write very clearly and plainly, it wouldn't seem as having the kind of cachet that you normally expect with academia. The strange thing is that she also talks about here the violence of discourses of normality around bodily difference and the complex temporalities of the gut through a focused three key moments in her experience. I'm not really sure what she means by violence. I mean, maybe in the humanities here, there's a specific, a specific meaning. Obviously, it doesn't appear to be around physical violence. But if we search for the word violence, we can see where she actually uses this again further down. So here she talks about medical intervention is acknowledged as an ambivalent site of life-saving treatment and discrimination and violence due to medical institutions being imbued with ideological biases about what constitutes normalcy and deviance. Well, it's a straightforward level. If you've had a stoma, it's you have moved away from normalcy because you're not able to get rid of excrement out of your body in the normal way, and there are obviously hassles in life, associated with that. So she goes on to talk about her own situation and lots of other strange things. So this bit here kind of took my eye. So we're only talking about somebody who's got a stoma here, but she's saying my crypt guts are within a cis, straight passing, white, middle class body with an Irish passport, which means sites like the border, I presume that's the border between the Republic and Northern Ireland, public toilets, airports, hospitals are navigated differently to those with crypt guts. Yeah, well, no surprise there. Otherwise, compared to those who are otherwise racialised, working class, or do not refuse, who refuse to pass as cis straight. So I'm not really sure where she gets all that from. I don't see why anybody who's not straight would be any different in a public toilet, say, or in the hospital or the airport. Somebody who's straight or somebody who's not white. It just seems to be pulling in, grievances pretty much for the sake of it, which my understanding with this kind of academia is pretty par for the course. And then the other thing that she brings in as well is colonialism. So she says that my gut story feels hard to disentangle from British colonialism in Ireland. I'm not really sure what the link is there. You can obviously read what she says, but again, to me, it just seems like a load of nonsense, to be straightforward. And it's actually the conclusion that I think was well, the whole paper is bizarre in my view, or at least most of it, apart from where she's talking about pretty straightforward things like her experience of getting ill, that kind of thing. We see at the bottom here. So she says queer stoma pride is about celebrating the leakiness of bodies which disrupt boundaries. Now, why you would want to celebrate having a leaky body, I don't know. I mean, there's obviously no issue with the idea that you've got to accept it as reality, and other people should make allowances for that, and not take the piss out of you, that kind of things. But it says it's about talking about poop at conferences. Why use a euphemism poop? Why didn't you just call it excrement or feces? It is an academic paper after all. She says it is about reveling in not being normal, being unexpected or disruptive, and rejecting colonial, queerphobic, and ableist discourses about returning to normal, passing as normal, and aiming for normal as if normal was ever a good thing. Well, like I say, I don't have a stoma, but I can certainly tell you this: is I would love to be have my bowels back to normal, although that's something that's never going to happen. I mean, this is clearly just this is just a personal opinion that she's expressing here. It's all dressed up in all these kind of rogue humanities theories, which we don't have time to look at. But there's plenty of material on the internet and YouTube to look into those. I mean, this kind of paper really makes me wonder whether we should actually be employing academics for this, this kind of thing. I'm really not too sure that it adds anything to, to the world's knowledge. I mean, it is just her personal opinion. This kind of thing could easily be written just in a personal blog, that kind of thing. But I suppose one thing it does do is it gives us quite an insight into certain areas of academia.